Hello, my loves. Welcome to ulaofthetea readings. My name is Lenore, and today I'm bringing you extra special transmissions from the borderlands. We are in a strange place right now, some in between. It feels like a very off-putting, can I just say, a very off-putting liminal space that we find ourselves in. So, we're going to see what the transmissions are, what are the messages, what does Spirit want us to know. I hope you are doing well. If you want to subscribe, or leave a comment, I would love for you to come back and share the reading if you feel so moved. And if not, it's all good. I love you. Either way. All right, let's go ahead. So I feel like we start the energy in your life right in this moment with an IOU. We have IOU. Somebody owes you something. And it feels like it is going to be, returned upon. You have some kind of favor that you might need. Maybe you're moving. You're going to cash in that big IOU. But, maybe it's a placeholder. Maybe somebody is bringing you, the monies, the resources. And maybe this is, something a lot more complex and far-reaching within your life. Something like, I don't know, you raised your younger sibling, right? Or you did a lot to raise them, and now they've gotten into a place where they can help do stuff, or help take care of you a little bit, and so it's not an IOU necessarily in the sense that you literally have in your ledger, I mean, it could be, but I do see this kind of repayment flowing in your direction, and it feels like one that is not loving. That's the wrong word. I mean, there could be love in there, but it feels like something where there's a lot of respect. Okay, it's not like this, you had to go hunt a person down. You know what I mean? You might not have even ever expected for anything. It wasn't something where you're oh, I'm keeping score here. I'm taking note, keeping score. No. This is a pleasant surprise, it feels like. All right, so now we have another person over here, or, the first person. We have right here. Here's the arms, the body, the legs. Now, right here we have the number 8. But it also almost looks like mail, the mailman, he's dropped, this is the mailbox here, and this dude's putting a message in there. Now over here, it almost looks like we have a little witch or a wizard with the little hat, and then we have a cauldron or some kind of, alchemical laboratory. And we seem to have 3. 1, 2, 3. We also have a chicken or a rooster, an alarm going off. We have a fish over here who it looks like it's missing some meat. So I almost feel like you've really been trying to figure out how are you going to be making some money? Okay. You are in the kitchen, maybe literally, maybe not, thinking up side hustles, little grinds, maybe a business that you have been thinking about starting, or Maybe it is that you have already started this side hustle, this business or whatever, and you're finding that it's actually kind of working out, right? Maybe you are starting to consider pivoting from maybe your quote unquote day job, right? Your 9 to 5, into this other thing. So, that is a wonderful feeling when you can like start to make something for yourself and you're like, oh, I might actually be able to not only survive, but thrive off of this abundance. Here is, I'm a realist in a lot of ways. Like, obviously, I'm totally like functioning out of the, I don't even know, like, well, online there's this whole, like, like the schizo brain thing or whatever as like a genre of kind of archetype of person, how they present the things that they're into, whatever. I definitely operate in that sphere, okay? I'm a little weird, a lot of weird, eccentric, definitely, on different, a variety of spectrums, and so all of these things being said, there is a real sense of, you want to, like, and I forgot my line of thinking here. I started talking about myself and I just get lost in that. I'm like, what are the right words to say here? But there is this real sense of like, it needs to be for a while, right? You need to like see this thing over, some seasons, right? Because I don't know what kind of business this is, but I do know, as a business owner, co-business owner, and I've also been hustling my whole life, babe, like forever. I was like a free agent waitress. That means I work for, well, I'm not going to say. Anyways, but, you got to make things happen, right? But here's the deal. When you have a good gig or something decent during the day or, something that's actually making you money, you have any kind of safety there. Then you start something on the side and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is really like, I'm making more money than I expected. It's, continuing to grow. It's something that is hopefully manageable with the other work. But then you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put it all into that. Like I'm putting all my, and that's I think it's really important. You have to have that kind of bravery to get into business and really, put your all into it. But here's the thing. You need to have some time with what you're doing to really know, like, is this just like a peak here? Is it going to shift depending on like the industry it's in? Is it seasonal? All the things, right? So when we see this, it's like the wizard, the magician, the magi, the witch, the whatever, the reality creator, the builder, right? Working on their potion or, what a magic, building the thing up with all of these different variables, right? So taking your time with it, because we all know, even the greatest alchemists, and we look at, I don't know what the truest true story is about Jack Parsons, but we know we have this amazing magical being who, footnote, did probably steal some of his work from his Scarlet Women, by the way, but we still love him. He was this like very proficient chemist, alchemist, quite a few other things, right? And he's still, what happened to him? Go look it up, so we have to go slow. We have to be careful. We have to look at all the variables. That's what I'm getting at. And, we down here, we have it was the mailman, right? We have the message coming. We have, something. I'm looking at Mercury up here. I'm like, yeah, okay, so we have the messenger, we have the mailman, we have, you getting this thing really going, because I do think, there's fear. There's fear about making money, about how are we all, not just us individually, how are we all going to survive the times that are coming ahead? We all know that things are changing, and I don't know what it's going to look like. I have no idea. I don't know. To me, I feel a really huge sense of freedom coming. And at the same time, it's going to have a lot of obstacles for people, right? It's going to be a resorting of society. And that's never, it's never easy, right? So, there is a sense of, I almost, it's strange because I've been seeing a lot more people, a lot of younger people, but also, not, people my age and older as well, really realizing we have to take a lot of this in our own hands. That, I don't know a lot about going to college and having, a career in what you studied and being a professional. I have no idea what that world is really like beyond being an outsider looking at it. But obviously I know a lot of people who have or are living that kind of path. And, this might be a naive assumption on my part, or an uneducated one, or I've never worked in offices. I've never, I didn't complete college. I didn't even go into what I had planned to, so it's work. I eked it out, guys. Let's be real. I decided that them screets were my my college. So, I don't know, but I feel like there's a lot of disillusion in people, right? And jobs disappearing. Let's just be real. I don't want to be the fear spreader, doomer. I'm not. I don't feel like it's a doom thing. I think there's a lot of, jobs that people do that they really don't find a lot of meaning in. Does that mean it's a good thing that those jobs disappear? I don't know. Maybe on a larger scale, it's inefficient for the beautiful minds that we have to be doing tedium like that. But the transition out of those jobs being available, that is the scary part, right? What happens? Because I'm not seeing a big plan. I don't know. My only plan as an outsider, of course, again, let me reiterate, I am an outsider, is to just continue to educate myself and know how to do a lot of stuff. Right? One of my big glories this last week was I cut my husband's hair. If you know him, he's over at Dove and Serpent Tarot, and his name is Paul. He's had long hair. When I met him, he had short hair, and I was like, babe, you would look so good with long hair, and he did. He grew it out, and it is the beautiful hair, but times change. It's a new world. Things are different now, and he wanted shorter hair. And I kept thinking, for months, you guys, I've been trying to talk him into, a hairstyle or something within the realm of, and I'm not going to say because he's going to reveal. And this, I think, will come out after his does. So anyways, it's I finally got to do the haircut, and I think it looks good. I think it looks really good. So I also cut my daughter's hair, and I cut my hair recently. Not to toot my own horn, I feel really happy that I'm somewhat proficient at cutting hair. I think it's so important that we have people who do it professionally. My sister is, a hairstylist, among other things. I mean, boss witch. That's what she really is. Or shaman, whatever she likes to go by. I don't know. Lisa, if you're watching, put it in the comments. Let them know. But I think we should also all know how to do things, right? And if it is something little, like knowing how to cut hair, if it's knowing how to can, if it is, knowing how to start a fire, keep it going, I like when people say, yeah, I know how to start a fire. Cool. That's super important. Don't get me wrong. That's not easy. It's one of the most important things we should know. Yeah, I know. I have a lot of superstitious beliefs about life, and also maybe a little, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit like, survival. I just think, we need to know for like different reasons, but survival for that one. And, anyways, yeah, like, how to start the fire. Okay. Now can you keep it going for 2 days and get it going at times where you can cook on it, so we build upon our skills, right? Keeping a fire that's outside, even inside really, but keeping that going for 2 days, not easy work. Not easy work. Go and try it, safely within the, rules of your area or whatever, if you're allowed to burn. It's not easy, but we should know how to do it, babe. We should know how to do it. Each and every one of us. Okay, so my plan is we're going to keep learning. We're going to keep doing the dang thing, getting built up, being that alchemist, right, of our own lives. Putting the things in the pot, stirring, tasting, adjusting. We're going to get the perfect thing going. I know it. There's a lot of days where I'm just like, what is going on? I'm looking at this world. The vampires are not hiding anymore. They're just out in the day, like, and they're not the pretty sparkly ones. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are real vampires out here running the world. And, I don't know, it just, I keep trying not to succumb to all of it, the weight of things, the collectively getting this new perspective. We've always known. Look at the like shows, like if you've ever watched True Detective, all of the seasons, right? They all go together. They're different in style but they're all woven together. It's been in our faces forever. We've all known, but now for things to be so verified, it just sinks down to all of the systems of our lives, the institutes within our lives, the things that, we grew up conditioned, all of that stuff. And it's bleak, dude. It's bleak. It's scary. It's, I don't know, I wish I could just be like, oh, haha, whatever, keep it moving. Like, that doesn't really affect me. It affects all of us. It affects our children, but at the same time, and I know I'm going on, but at the same time, it's like, man, we're conscious beings. We create. We reimagine, we, can shift the entire ocean if we wanted to, really. Okay? No, it's not lost. Nothing's lost. Some things are lost, maybe. But we still have infinite potential. right? Not only that, something has awoken in us that's been asleep. You know, I had this vision maybe about a year ago, 2 summers ago, probably. And it was of what I considered to be a manifestation of the Dark Mother. And she was kind of peering out a little, like a hole that was a window through stone. You know, we were like in some kind of dark room, but the wall was stone and there was a little hole and you could see out into the night. She was looking at it, and then I could see the back of her head, right? Long hair, dark, and not a lot of features of anything, but suddenly she turns and looks at me right in the eye, and I am held in her eyes, and they are oceans of red. I mean, just the most intense duality. Black against red, against hot blood and life, and you know, just absolutely belovedness and brutality. Just, you know, I imagine, like, and I don't know if I'm even allowed to say this on YouTube or whatever, but if you, like, ferociously devoured, you know, like a placenta, right, after birth, right? Just, yeah, and animals do, right? Because you're supposed to. You're supposed to, I guess. I don't know. I personally did not. I didn't even get to see mine because I don't even want to talk about it. I was sad about it, though. I have pictures of it. But it just is something so primal. She was so primal in that vision, in that, and I knew. She looked at me, and I kept saying, you know, and so long, over months and months and months, I appealed, and I made offerings, and I tried to realign my life, and I made vast changes in my form, in my ability, my endurance, my boundaries, my, you know, I just will not put up with anything. Pretty much now. I will not succumb to other people's problems and whims and, you know, they're on and off and hot and cold and I want you, I don't want you, I do, I don't, you know, hiding and avoidance and no, I'm not doing it anymore, you know. And that's that energy. We locked eyes and I wanted to know, what is it? What do you want from me now? After all of this, you know, and this is before all of this that's happened recently, or has been happening secretly, and everything else, every other thing that has happened since 2 summers ago, right? And then I knew, last fall, I started to really feel it. I knew she was like on the air. You know, coming. I could almost feel her like tunneling through the ground. You know, something was coming. Something. Could not figure out. Still don't really know what it actually is. But I knew it was coming. And she told me. She scared the heck out of me that night that I had that vision. But she let me know. Babe, my love, my darling, my daughter. It's time. It's time. It's time. Don't go back to sleep, babe. It's time to go back to school. You know what I mean? It's like that wake. I don't want to. I'm awake. I've already been awoken, man. I've been doing the work forever, you know, but still that slumber, that like next level of like, okay, here we go. No, I want to sleep a little bit more, please. Things just got super chill, mom, you know? And, no, I knew something was coming. We all did, dude. You just think back to all the things that you're talking about with people. You knew. We all knew. You could feel it. And now it's here. Here we are. Here we are. I don't know if we're in the belly of the beast. I don't know if we're in the eye of the storm. I don't know if the first little rains just started. I don't know. But I know it's chaotic. And I know it's scary. But I think it's like we have this opportunity, right? We have so much opportunity. We have to do something with it. I mean, we don't have to, but we should. I think it would be cool. I think I might as well. Right? Okay, so we have, and I know, if you're here, I love you. Thank you for listening to my rambles. You know I just be on some... I just am talking. We have the snake. We have the mound with the nests on the top. We have a guitar. Father. It's like a father. I think maybe not Cancer. Capricorn. Maybe Capricorn, maybe Aries. Music. So into music. Maybe a musician. For some reason, it feels like there was a lot of oppression with them. Not that they were oppressive, but they were oppressed. And maybe had a hard childhood. I think this made it really hard for you to get to know them, like in a real way. I feel like it's almost kind of like, and here I see right here ramming into this one. There's the head on the other one. Here are the bodies, and they're kind of like ramming their heads together. So to me, it's kind of like you really always wanted to be closer, this validation of kind of being like BFFs with your father, you're being their buddy, being their confidant in some way, maybe not too much, but to the point where you can have a real conversation, you can be yourself with them. I think that at times you had that, but I think that because of whatever happened, there's this back and forth, and I think it really must come from a very early trauma. Something happened. Something went on. And we have the number 66. And here's the thing is that I feel like there's like a sense of resolution in this. And I don't know why. Maybe you have a conversation and you kind of talk it out. Maybe, you yourself have had kids and now you're seeing like, something weird happens when you go from being somebody's child to being somebody's parent. You kind of have this deeper ability to put yourself in your parent's situation, which sometimes can make you super heartbroken because it's like, well, what were you doing? Or, it makes you frustrated because it's like, dude, it could have been, you could have just done the thing. It wasn't that big of a deal, and also, I think it makes you see, like, these things that I felt were sticking points. These are things that a lot of people experience as parents, right? These are things that happen within families, but not a lot of people talk about it, and you start to, like, for instance, here's a big one, is like, we all kind of know what postpartum is, right? They have postpartum depression, psychosis, anxiety. There's a lot of different ones. So basically, after you have the baby, things can happen, right? Hormonally and otherwise. Like it can help, it brings up maybe an already occurring mental health thing or whatever it is, right? Well, did you know that men can also have postpartum depression, anxiety? I don't know about psychosis, but maybe. I don't know. I haven't read into that one. But there are so many things that we dismiss in people that we just don't have the knowledge for yet. And then we go through these experiences and we see like, okay, well, maybe this makes a little bit more sense because now I'm experiencing something similar. I'm going through, the newborn days, the lack of sleep, the, having to work and also take care of family and, whatever, all the things, the things. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's being in the weeds completely for like a few years, right? And, when you go through that, you're initiated into it, right? And so you can understand more deeply, but also there's knowledge, like what I just was talking about with postpartum. We might not even realize that these things are things until we go through and we have to read about, I don't know. I read a lot about internet, on the internet about mothering, and it took me down long rabbit holes, right? And so, I don't know. I feel like there is a sense of being able to not let go, but process, integrate. Okay. All right. So we also have, it looks like a phallic. We have, blessed energy in the creating, not only conceiving of, but being able to manifest. There is a sense of really like needing to, I don't know, maybe do some self-care. I hate to say that. That's like the most annoying thing anybody. If somebody said that to me, I would be, you need some you time. Yeah, you think? But, it's, sometimes we really do just have to do the thing to take care of ourselves, right? We have to it's frustrating, it's annoying, we're tired, we don't have the money. The world is, going through this major shift. And yet we still have to do the things to keep ourselves, on the level. And I think that's where you're at. You just make sure that you're doing a little something for you. All right. 53 is our first lucky number. Lucky number. 98. 98, 98, 98, 98, and 17. 17. All right. I love you. Please take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Forgive yourself today of anything that, I don't know, you feel like you did wrong or whatever. Do the work. Process it. Look at it, process it, and forgive yourself. I promise you, we are in a time of, self-absolution. We have to be. I even created a ritual for self-absolution. I'm going to show it to you. I'm just going to show you really quick, okay? So, it is my superstitious, magical belief, right? That because we all have very, distinct hands, each one is, it's very special, or what am I trying to say? It is, not unmatched. All of those things are the wrong, that nobody has the same fingerprints as you, basically. Same lines in your hands. I lost the word. I don't know. I fumbled a few other words. Sorry about that. That's literally how you talk to me all day long. If we were just hanging out, it would be like, I'm trying to like complete a sentence and there's a wheel of words going and I'm like, no, not that one, not that one, not that. But anyways, we all have our own very, what is the word? Rare? One of a kind hands? Anyways, so what I do is do mudras. You can also do mudras while you do this. I stand like this with my hand underneath the water in the shower. This is a shower thing. Or I guess you could scoop up the water. And you let it flow over your hands. It's charged with the specific energies of your individual channels within your hands, like the little lines. And it pours down. And you put your head right here, forehead right against here. And you let the water flow down. And you absolve yourself of your day. I shower at least twice a day. Because I need a lot of absolution, you guys. A lot of grounding. It really does help me so much to just get in the shower. But yeah, so that's the ritual. Hopefully you might try it. Let me know how it goes. But yeah, we have no room for extra stuff. So I suggest that we immediately try to write things as they happen in our lives. And that means, like, when you need to say sorry, say it immediately. Don't hold on to that. Who has pride? The world is run by vampires, literally, you guys. There's no time for pride among the food, okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk soon. Bye.